introduce what is Sunday School of Arts, and then after that followed by deaconship.
I would first of all like to congratulate Pauline, Dr. Pauline and the team for on being the recipients of this generous research grant. The grant will go a significant way to achieving some important research outcomes, both for yourself and for Sunway University, and they're just as important to us as they are to you. And the really encouraging thing is that Sunway University has been rising in the rankings in recent times, such that nationally and globally, Sunway is now the number one ranked private not-for-profit university in Malaysia, which is no small feat. And also Sunway is now ranked on the Times Higher Education rankings for the first time in the 800 category. So that means that the work that we do, the research that's done at Sunway University is seen globally as of significant and of global importance and reputation, which we're very, very proud of. And of course, those rankings are due in part to the quality of the research and the quality of the staff that we have who undertake that research. And so, of course, this particular project will be contributing further to that. And so we thank you very much and look forward to this project proceeding, and I certainly look forward to seeing the results. Can I just say welcome and thank you again for your generous grant, and we look forward to really doing it justice and producing some results that you will find very useful and helpful. So thank you.
So from my dressing, I think it's quite apparent that I represent a religious institution. So I represent the Christian faith, but I come from this perspective that religion must never be insular. So religion is always a part of civil society, and it must assume a constant dialogical posture. And so the Christian Institute for Theological Engagement was established in order to initiate dialogue at different levels. Firstly, dialogue within Christianity itself, among Christians. As I think all of us know, Christianity is not a monolithic faith. We have different types of Christians, and so that dialogue is important among Christians. There is also dialogue between Christians and people of other religions, also between Christians and people who don't have religion. And then at another level, it is also important for religion, I think, as a whole, to dialogue with secular society, which includes secular culture. So CHRISTE, the Christian Institute for Theological Engagement, was established to facilitate these dialogical encounters at academic levels. So that's why we exist. Our rationale for it is that these activities will sharpen our awareness of the sociological context in which the church, in our case, exists. And so the social sciences are very important to us. The arts are very important to us because they provide interpretations and analysis for realities to which our Christian theology can then respond, hopefully intelligently. So the work of the social scientific community must be taken seriously, as far as I'm concerned, so that religion is not insular or self-isolating. Our theological reflections, and that's where my expertise comes in. I provide theological interpretations and responses to social realities, but on my own, I don't have the expertise to do this research on social reality, and so I depend on people to collaborate with me in a cross-disciplinary way. So my theological reflections must be based on concrete reality, not presumption. And I think this is a mistake that many theologians make. We theologize based on presumption. We have to rectify this in my field. And so what I'm talking about now actually has very serious implications on our theological methodology. So it is really an intentional effort on my part, an endeavor to cross that gulf between religion and secular society, secular academia, because we need your help. We need to work with you so that you can provide us with the data for us to reflect upon. So this grant that we are giving, it's a small grant. That's why when we were taking photographs earlier on, I told them not to smile too widely in case people would think the grant was a very big one. So it's a small grant, but I think it's significant in its meaning and in what it represents. This grant represents respectful, scholarly dialogue and collaboration between faith and the social sciences. And I'm very happy, I'm delighted to be here because, in my heart I'm saying, at long last, this has happened. It is something that I've been looking forward to since the day I was doing my postgraduate studies. So I thank all of you for being here. I thank Dr. Pauline and colleagues for putting this little gathering together. I think it's a very significant gathering. From my viewpoint, a rather historic one. And I hope that it's the first of many steps that we can take together in our academic journey.
People are, going out online, but not actually going back to church itself while the doors are open. So I thought that maybe there's something worth investigating, and Deacon encouraged it, but I felt that I couldn't, this too big a project to do on my own. So I'm so happy to have Dr. Tan Meng Yoe from Monash, right? So his expertise is on church and culture. So and he was happily agreed to be in, and I'm so happy to also have Dr. Lim Hock Ann from Infrastructure University, who will provide us with the expertise on statistics, because we aim to do this on a multimodal mode, qualitative as well as quantitative. So we're actually covering quite a lot with that little grant that we're receiving, and we hope to have enough data. At first, when COVID-19 happened, there was a lot of confusion in terms of adjusting back, adjusting to a new norm of not going to church but doing it online. And along the way, we realized that people actually adapted online and are now not going back to church. So what are the reasons? Why are there some people who have faithfully, when the doors opened, quickly went back, and there are some who are still struggling and still preferring the new norm has become the old norm, the mainstream. So that is the reason why we are embarking on this, and we hope that with our research we are able to provide some answers to this phenomenon that's happening. So the purpose of social sciences is that we observe the phenomena, but we don't know the reasons. And in order for the church to respond to the needs of the church followers, we need to know what they are feeling, what they are experiencing, what are the reasons before the church leadership can adapt to it. Yeah, and I believe Meng Yoe has been doing previous research on the church hierarchy itself, right? Maybe you want to say a few words about. So this is actually a follow-up of his research.
Yeah. So firstly, thanks for having us here. So my background is actually on the online religion. That's been my ongoing background, but it's not my first collaboration with CHRISTE. So the project that's currently winding up now looks at how churches experience the pandemic, but it's mostly from an institutional point of view, from the perspective of priests, elders, leaders. So how they went through that experience of leading a religious community through the pandemic. And so this new project kind of takes the other side and looks at how church members experienced it and their views going forward. There's a futurist element to it of what comes in the future. We can't quite predict it, but we hope to get some indicators through these projects that we're working on. Yeah.
Okay, and I think Dr. Lim has also done a survey, right? But that was during the pandemic itself, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, this is also the sequence of my research with CRC research team. The research was on the effects of a pandemic lockdown on Catholics' faith in Malaysia. So when Dr. Pauline approached me, I feel that this topic is very interesting. So now not only confined to Malaysia, but we can do the cross comparison of the Christian behavior in Malaysia and also in Singapore, and it is during the COVID recovery phase. Yeah.